How's it going, everybody? So I put a little update on YouTube the other day, kind of going through all the material I'd bought and what the plans were. So I've gotten started on that. I've got 5 of the 6 posts done on the shed. It's taken me about 30 minutes per post. I did 2 last night. It's been really hot, so I just kind of dealt with it today, but 16 by 8 shed. The only reason I don't have this last post already done is because I messed up on the layout when I put my stakes in, and this stake right here is exactly where my post hole needs to go. So I had to get the rest of them poured. That one is the very last one, so it's still fairly wet. I learned a few things with these long posts and doing it by myself. The first one, this one I did yesterday, I didn't put any concrete in the bottom to kind of level it out, dry concrete. And when I got it in there, I had the mix a little bit too wet. And I wasn't ready for that, because usually I get these guys standing and they stand on their own because the way I mix it. But being on a hillside, and these are a little tall for the post holes, and I actually kind of got stuck. Once this thing was in there, I had to hold it until it got stable enough and just kind of stand here in the heat. And I messed myself up to where I couldn't reach anything. I didn't have a shovel or anything close. So the trick I ended up figuring out, if you're doing this by yourself, instead of bracing them, is it takes a little longer, because you can't just move on to the next post, or like I can't dig that hole right now. But I started using my shovel to just hold it right about close while everything thickens up. I also started figuring out that once you get your concrete mixed, let it sit for like 15 minutes and start to really set up. And then, you can lean your post in, put some dry in the bottom, it'll let it sit real level, and then you dump that's been sitting for about 15 minutes in there, and it doesn't take so long to cure. So one of them deals where I kind of got that figured out about the time I'm done. But there's more holes and more concrete to be done, but not really any more pole barn style like this. So what's going to happen next is I'm going to take that 2x6 that's over there, and we're going to do 4 runs. Man, it's hard to get these posts in the shot, but 4 runs from post to post. And then I'm going to use like a sheet siding. I designed this to where it's 16 by 8 exactly, so it'll take 2 sheets and 4 sheets and then 2 sheets again. So it'll save me a little material, a little cutting, little all that craziness. I'll just be able to slap some sheets up there. This was really the hardest part of this, and man, I'm so stoked to get some storage space. I did paint the posts. I did that the day I got the material here. Just went up high enough. I will go through and paint the rest of these, but I'll probably wait till I cut them. These aren't going to be this tall. They're kind of up there right now. They're sitting at about 9 foot, and the idea is to be, well, the high side around 9 and the back side will get cut. But just going to do a little flat 2-pitch roof. You can't do a full flat roof here in Missouri because of the snow and the leaves, the rain. You want all that stuff to be able to drain off of there. And then I'll also be putting a gutter on here for rainwater collection, because like till I get a well, I can't have a garden. So something like rainwater collection would be good. Also yesterday, I really did a couple things. Got my new pump rocking and rolling. This hose goes into there, pumps out into this other hose. As of right now, as always with plumbing, I am missing a piece. I didn't intend on this pump. The last pump I had water hose fittings on it, so you could just screw a water hose onto it. This one did not. So I had to use the 2 clamps I bought to kind of rig that up to where it'll work. I think that's going to work out for me. I may get some silicone and make it a little more permanent. But I did manage to, and my shower bag's kind of in the way right now, but I got that up there, and I've got my shower spigot in piece, but I forgot Teflon tape. And then I've got my little valve here, and then this is the other piece I need. So what I'm gonna do is turn this out that way towards where the pump is, and then I'm gonna put like a little hose clamp kind of barb situation. I don't know what the exact term for it is, but I need another piece to clamp the other end of my hose onto, and turn it out that direction a little bit. But once that's on, basically you plug the pump on, the pressure will come to my valve here, which will, these things are kind of hard to turn when they're dry. So that's off, so it'll be sitting like that. The pressure will build. I will come in, turn it on just like anything else, and obviously I need to get some straps on this guy. It's a little loose, but those are the few things I forgot at the plumbing store. I need to get a couple straps to get everything tight so it's not moving around when I come in here. I need a piece for the end. But once that's all said and done, and I get the Teflon tape to put the thing at the top, I'll have a shower. This shower bag, it worked. It does work. I'll probably take a shower here in a little bit after doing all the concrete work. I mean, you pull this little guy down, water comes out. The truth is, it's a little precarious to work with. By the time I fill it up with water, it gets so low that I have to duck under it, and I mean, that's a pretty high tree. I mean, if you want to hang the thing 11 foot in the air, you need to use a ladder to fill it up, and I already have to use a 4-foot ladder to fill it up. So it just, in theory, those things are awesome. You know, they get hot, you can get a warm shower, it holds 10 gallons, yada yada, but you're not gonna lift 10 gallons up and tie it to anything. I promise you that. I'm pretty strong, and holding 10 gallons of water while you try to tie a knot with the other hand is pretty well impossible. So it's got to be empty when you put it up, which means you have to be able to climb up to wherever you hang it to fill it, and it worked. It has definitely kept me clean through this summer, through the first couple months, but it will be so much more convenient to be able to turn that spigot on, have water above my head. And the truth is, you know, 10 gallons lasts a while, but when I'm usually putting like 3 or 4 in there, I gotta be conscious of how long I'm showering, because a couple times I've ended up with soap all over my face and my eyes, and then that thing ran out of water, and it's not like, you know, I can just go to the sink and rinse off. I have to figure something out, come over here and rinse my face or what have you. But it's been kind of an ordeal. It was 20 bucks. It got me through to this point. I had to make some money before I could really stack up material, because as we all know, material is high. Every piece of it is. I mean, just for the 6 posts, 6 bags of concrete, the plumbing parts, the paint, screws, it was like $340 just to get that stuff here. That's was me, and then the pump was about 80 bucks. But I did get a 4-year warranty on this pump, so if it burns out on me, I get a new one. That was worth it to me. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of give a rundown. At this point, I've got 3 days till I need to go back to work, and I've got 1 hole to dig and 1 post to set and a bunch of 2x6 to put up. I'm not gonna try to push myself to get this thing sided and roofed, but I will be finishing the shower for sure. I'll have that by beginning of next week, and I'll definitely have all the posts set. Digging out here is a pain. Nobody likes digging, I understand that, but one of the things I didn't think about when moving to the woods was that when you're digging, the first foot is all roots. So you're constantly clipping roots out of there. You're constantly jamming your shovel, jamming your wrist up. Then once you get past the roost, you get a little bit of sand, and then it goes to pretty much straight rock. So this is definitely the hardest terrain I've ever had to dig on. I've dug in a lot of places. Frisco, Texas and Austin, Texas aren't very easy, but they don't have near the root systems that this place does. So I'm kind of dreading that last hole, but it is my last hole, and you know, the standing of the post is the main structure of this building. So once that's done, man, I can chip at it after work, hang a couple pieces of siding, hang a couple boards. The roof is going to be the last part that's a little difficult, but the truth is I'm doing a very simple roof design. I'm just going to do a 2-pitch, you know, flat roof. I don't want to have to worry about siding where I put gables. I thought about putting a gable roof on this to give me a little bit more ceiling and maybe some storage, but the truth is it's going to end up taking more material, more time, more cuts, more everything. Once I get the walls done on this, I can basically just lay some 9-foot 2x6s across there and throw some slats down and put some metal up. It ain't going to be nothing to it at all. So that's the update. It's hotter than hell out here. I'm trying to keep things moving while I got some time off, and it's dry though, because to be able to get my toolboxes back out where I can get to them and get my material that I have stored over the years on shelves and be able to store things that stay dry, and just that's going to change a lot. And most important thing is it's going to free up my trailer. I'll have a real fridge. I'll have a deep freeze. All of that stuff will be off my trailer. My trailer's going over to the other side of the property. And then what's actually going to happen here is, I don't know how well you can see it because there's a brush pile here. That brush pile goes away. But this is why I've taken my time on getting gravel. The longer I'm here, the more things change. But if you can see through there, right to the road, there is a clear path. Don't have to cut no trees down. Once the trailer's gone, the truck can back right up here. The car can back up with groceries. I mean, the 4-wheeler can be parked in here. This is probably going to be the first area I gravel, because when winter comes, this is one of my highest and levelest spots. And I'll be able to park the cars here and know that I can get them out without blocking the driveways or doing any of that. So anyway, that was kind of a lot to take in, but things are moving. I'm stoked about the shed. The shed is, I really have more area in that shed than I have in my camper right now. It's going to be the largest dry space on this property, and it's really going to just kind of change my mentality of being here. I can get out of my storage unit, so all my stuff will actually be on my property, and I can, you know, I've basically made the decision that once I get that finished and get everything here, whatever doesn't fit in there or fit in the camper or fit somewhere is, I don't need it. I don't feel like hoarding a bunch of stuff that I don't even have a place to put. You know, there's some sentimental boxed up stuff I've had most of my life that will be coming out of the storage unit. There's a lot of music equipment that'll be coming out of the storage unit. And that's something I haven't talked about that I guess I'll touch on. It's a long ways down the road, but one of the pieces of this dream of mine here is I will be building a studio on this property. I have found throughout experimenting with it that I'm not performing live and other than a group of friends or something like that. It's just not really my thing. I don't care to have that much attention. I wouldn't say I have stage fright as much as it's just not an enjoyable experience. You know, when you're a kid and you're watching your rock stars on fucking TV and you think that's what you want, it seems that way until you realize that, like, well, a lot of work goes into it, and there's a lot of stress involved with it. And, you know, a lot of those bars don't treat musicians very well. And sure, once you're famous, you get waited on hand and foot, but on the climb up, it's kind of a pain in the ass. And the market's so saturated with musicians these days that I think I'd like to get to a place where, yes, I'm still recording my albums, I'm still making music, but also I can help people make music. Being able to play most instruments helps me with that, because I can look at somebody playing guitar and go, man, if you could just tweak that just this slightest little bit, maybe try doing it like this, I think it'd sound really good in this song. So that's something in the future I want to get into. But I got to build a house first. Once the house and the deck and the pond are done, and I'm really set up, and the garden's here, that's when I'm going to start looking at putting a studio up. So there's more coming. Don't you worry. I'll make more videos once I get the shower actually working and start doing the walls on the shed. There wasn't a point of recording myself doing a lot of that work. It was just trial and error plumbing and mixing concrete. So anyways, y'all have a good day. Just figured out an update. Take it easy.